Hello? Hello? Welcome in, everybody. Okay, what is it? I don't even know what I clicked on. It's called Dragon. I don't know what that means. Oh, sorry, it's Dagon. Not Dragon, Dagon. I added an R with my brain.
Since by tonight I shall be no more.
Really? Oh, do I need to click something? Oh, well, I can move. Oh, I thought I was just sitting here. I thought it was like a story. During the game, you'll encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey, others will reveal interesting facts about the original story, its historical background, and the author. So there's gonna be circles and question marks. Okay, thanks. Can I not move?
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
So I'm a drug addict and I ran out of drug. And so now I'm gonna die? Is that what's going on here? Am I gonna
Do
fall?
not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate.
Oh, okay. So don't do morphine, kids. That's the lesson of the story here. Yeah, don't do drugs. Stay in school.
When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Oh. Or death. That's, death seems extreme, but alright.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
Sea Raider? What that? Is that a pirate? We're gonna look at the raiders? Is this the raider? Hello?
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation, so that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Oh. We're prisoners now. Okay, so it was pirates. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of things around us. Okay, let's look at the flag. What's the flag? Oh god, that's reading. Do I need to read something about the Huns, were Asian nomads, established dominion in Europe, known as brutal, deadly warriors, blah blah blah, World War One. I think that's just the trivia stuff that we don't need for the main thing. I don't know. I didn't feel like reading all that. That's a lot of reading.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors, that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone, in a small boat, with water and provisions for a good length of time.
We escaped. Okay. Okay, so we're off to a good start, We got raided by pirates, but that's okay because we lived. We escaped.
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings.
Well, there's water, and there's water, and there's more water. I think I have a pretty good idea of my surroundings now.
Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator.
Oh.
Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
Okay, so we're stranded at sea. Seems fine.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
Oh. So we're just kind of going for it. We're just vibing, Lost at sea. Having a good time. Water. Are we gonna run out of water?
But neither ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
Man, I don't want to stare at the sun. That's bad for your eyes. Stop staring at the sun, guy.
The change happened whilst I slept.
The change?
Its details I shall never know.
Ooh. Alright, what details do we know?
My slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Oh. Ooh. Hi. Hello. And Lovecraft has landed, yeah, basically.
When at last I awoke, It was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which
Ew.
extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
Ew. I love black goo. He's in Ohio. Yeah, you know he's in Ohio. He struck
And
oil.
in which my boat lay grounded some distance away.
Oh yeah, look, there's my boat. It always got tentacles on it.
Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
You know, this is kind of a weird situation to wake up to, like, you were in the middle of the ocean and now you're just on this goop with a bunch of squid that are probably dead or dying.
And in the rotting soil, a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core.
Uh-huh.
The region was putrid
Ew.
with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other, less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I hate how squishy that sounded when he got up. Like, I know it's gonna be squishy sounding, but ugh. Gross.
Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity. There was nothing within hearing and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's great. Good for you, man. Good for you. There's a fish there.
The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost
Really?
black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
I mean, yeah, that is actually pretty neat. There's a sun there, but then it's dark over there. And maybe the sun's just setting. I don't know. Just setting in a very strange fashion. Oh, I need to look at the boat. Ugh. Ugh. Ew.
As I
Gross.
crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position.
Yeah? One? Only one theory? Ew, that mountain is... Ew. Look at that. It's throbbing. That mound of goop is throbbing. I don't like that.
Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths.
That's your conclusion? Why is it goopy? It's a fleshy volcano. Yeah, it's very fleshy.
So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might.
You know, that's a good question. How did I get this far, like, inland in this goo?
Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
Maybe they also died. You know, maybe that's a clue to not eat the stuff in the black goo.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens.
It is bright here now. Look, it's not so dark and gloomy. Now it's nice and bright. Things are looking up for me. Oh god, I see the shadows of like the tentacles flick around the boat sometimes. Ew, look at that. Gross.
As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
Uh-huh. Look, there's my sack. My sack looks fine, actually. Oh,
That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue. On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with
Ew.
ease.
that's a long
The
squid.
odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
I would like to walk around, though. Can I walk around? No. I can only look around, which, I mean, I guess that's... Ugh, that sound.
All day I forged
Ooh,
steadily
what is that?
westward, guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
I have concerns. Sir? Are you not seeing this, sir? 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 Do you know what creatures these are, sir? Because I don't. Is it a whale? Oh my god, there's a whale. But then there's like these legs of question mark? Nothing I've ever seen. Are those I don't know what the hell anything is. It's a dog. Oh, okay. It's a dog. Okay, it's a weird looking dog. Oh, I walked next to it. Gross.
That
It's a worm.
I encamped, and on the following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
Are we like not gonna, sir, are you not gonna mention all these weird creatures we're seeing? Because like, you know, we first landed, it was squid and like the shell things and like some, looks like snappers of some kind. You know, that's fine, that's normal, I guess, you know. Kind of a little weird that there's so many dead, you know, near you, but like, I've never seen these sorts of creatures before. What is this long worm thing? What is this? Where's its head? Where's its butt? Where's it going? You know, this dude just really isn't going to talk about all these weird creatures, is he? He's just like, yeah, that's fine. This is normal.
By the fourth evening,
Oh.
I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Yeah, that's usually how perspective works.
An intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface.
Uh-huh.
Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
Okay, we're gonna take a nap. Okay, nothing bad can
I know not
happen.
why my dreams were so wild that night.
Uh-huh.
But ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain,
A moon?
I was awake in a cold
Something about a
perspiration,
moon?
determined to sleep no more.
Well, I guess we're awake now. Oh, that is a pretty sky, though. Like, ignoring the horrible monstrosities that are probably around us, like, that's a nice sky. It's a pretty sky. Okay.
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again.
Yeah, okay, so we're giving up and
In the glow
sleeping?
of the moon, I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day.
Oh, so the
Without
daytime is
glare of
bad?
the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy.
Oh, you know, I guess that's fair. That makes sense.
Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset.
Also, I would have a hard time sleeping during the daytime. I guess if I was, like, exhausted, I could
Picking
do
up
it.
my
But God.
pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
You know, that doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's tall, but, like, I can do that. That's fine. It's not like a mountain. It's just a mound. Are we gonna go? Do I need to look at something? Oh, my sack. I can't forget my sack. Flex that superior
I have
mind.
said that the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me.
Stop making the squishy sounds, sir.
But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon,
Oh, we're gonna go down a hole?
whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
Oh, I can't look down. Let me look down. I wanna look
felt
down.
myself on the edge of the world.
Oh, yeah, I guess you can't see anything. Like, okay, you can, like, barely see those, like, you know, the rocks there and, like, a cliff, and then there's nothing.
Peering over the rim
Oh,
into
here
a
we go.
fathomless chaos of eternal night. Through my terror ran
Oh,
curious
book.
reminiscences of Paradise Lost, and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness.
Ooh.
As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
What?
Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded
Ooh.
fairly easy footholds for a descent.
Oh, we're gonna go down. Oh, we're gonna go down into the...
Just
no.
after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
Uh-huh. Am I gonna... can I climb? Or, I guess, descend? It's like
Urged on
climbing,
by
but
an
slow.
impulse which I cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath.
Whoa. Well, I went down that. Why did I go down that? I guess I had nowhere else to go.
Gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated.
Stygian. Is that a word, or did he just like name it suddenly? He's like, you know what? Yeah, this is this place.
All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me.
He got distracted by the shiny object, which is exactly what would happen to me. I'd be like, oh, it's a shiny box.
An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
God, this guy. Ugh. Okay, that I could do without the squishy
That
though.
it was merely a gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself.
A gigantic piece of stone that looks very nicely, perfectly chiseled, actually, in the middle of the goop land, with the horrible creatures that we passed by. Yeah, you know, all seems fine.
I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature.
Oh, you just now figured out that a perfect rectangle is not exactly, you know, a nature design.
A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express. For despite its enormous magnitude and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith.
I mean, yeah, I kind of gathered that.
Whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures.
I want to go touch it. Can I go touch it? Why is there boom banging?
Dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
Rock. Yeah, there's rock. Goop. Probably more rocks that way. Oh, I'm gonna go forward. Every time. Water!
The moon, now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm.
There's symbols.
And revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions, and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope.
Ooh, is this drinkable
Across
water?
the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the Cyclopean monolith, on whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
Rude sculptures, I see. What are those symbols, though? There's like a bunch of creatures on the top, and then waves, and then like people? Hands? Wait, no, those are roots. Then there's people. We gonna get a closer look?
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me, and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books.
So Cthulhu is what I'm getting here? Look at that. Look at that Cthulhu.
Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like.
You forgot the sharks, sir? Look at the sharks over there. There's a lot of sharks. And the turtle. Excuse me?
Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world.
They're not unknown. That's Cthulhu. Duh.
But whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain.
What do you mean? We saw a bunch of... I don't see, like, the weird claw creatures here, but I see, like, you know, the like, squid and octopi and stuff. Those, we know about those.
It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Ooh, yes. Show me. Show me. I want to see it. Let's see what the carving is all about.
Visible across the intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a doré.
Of a doré? Is that like a... I don't know what that means. Okay.
I think that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men.
Can't like see the full picture. But it looks like it's like top half man, bottom half squid. So they're like mermen, but with squid instead of like normal fishtail. Yeah.
Though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto.
Yes. Look at the fish
Or
men.
paying homage at some monolithic shrine, which appeared to be under the waves as well.
Oh, so this all used to be
Of their
underwater?
faces and forms I dare not speak in detail.
Why not? I want to look at
For the
them.
mere remembrance makes me grow faint.
Oh, you're just weak.
Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer.
Ooh.
They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips.
Wait, webbed hands and feet? Where are you seeing the hands and feet? I only see faces. Ow.
Glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall.
Yeah?
Curiously enough, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background.
Well, you know, that's fine. Not everything has to be proportional. Maybe it's just like a whole separate, you know, like that top part is one thing and then this bottom half is just another thing.
For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself.
Oh, that's what he was talking about. Yeah, you know, that's... Are they huge? How big are they? Are they really this big? That's just gigantic.
I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe.
I mean, you know, to be fair, if it were like actual real life, I would probably think the same. I would probably be like, oh, you know, it's just, you know, ancient folks' gods.
Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born.
Okay, now what do I look at? What are we looking at?
Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist.
Uh-huh.
I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me.
Man, this dude just really like throwing in all the descriptive words and sentences, isn't he?
Then, suddenly, I saw it.
Oh, what's gonna come out of the
With only
water?
a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into view above the dark waters.
Oh, what's coming? Is it gonna be one of those gigantic? Oh my god!
Loathsome. It darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith,
Oh, it's huge.
about which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
What is this dude? Hello? Oh, am I gonna pass out?
I think I went mad then.
Did I just pass out? I mean, to be fair,
My frantic ascent of the sloping cliff and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
I probably also would freak out and run away if I saw that just jump out of the water and scream. I want to look back. Oh, my vision is all wibbly wobbly. Look at that. Oh, that is neat. Go, go, go. Faster, sir, faster.
I
Ooh.
believe I sang a great deal and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
Okay, so we're just like not being quiet at all. We're just making as much noise as we can.
I have
it's raining.
distinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat.
Okay, what's the plan now? We reached the boat, now what?
At any rate, I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods.
Hello? Oh, are we done? What happened?
When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital,
Was I just on like a drug trip?
brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean.
How did I find the ocean? There was like a whole part of this where I was like, I had no idea where the ocean was. Where did I find the ocean? Is that just a part that I forgot too because I was just driven mad by this sea creature dude?
In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention.
Oh, am I like in an insane asylum?
Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing.
Oh. The real unspeakable horror is the American healthcare system. Oh god, you're right.
Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
Uh-huh. Okay, it was okay. I just opened the door from a distance because I have psychic
sought out a
powers.
celebrated ethnologist and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Ooh, fish god. Hello? Hello? What?
But
Book?
soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
Uh-huh. Where do we go? Oh, there we go.
It is at night, especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing.
Okay, so now we're back at, like, where we started. So that's probably why we started, doing, what were we addicted to again? Was it meth? Were we addicted to meth? I don't know. I forgot what he was addicted to.
I tried morphine.
Oh, morphine, that was it.
But the drug has given only transient surcease, and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave. So now, I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Okay, so we're gonna do this? Is Cthulhu gonna just, like, suddenly appear to us and be like, hey, bro, you shouldn't do that. You need to get some help. Seek professional help. What's this?
Often,
is this like cyanide?
I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm. A mere freak of fever as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man of war.
Could have been.
This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply.
What vision?
I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed.
I mean, you know, that is fair. We know very little about the ocean. It's kind of scary.
Ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite.
Oh, that is huge.
I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind.
I want to see it again.
Of a
Can
day when
I
the
swim by
land
again?
shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
Oh. Oh my god, there's so many. What if it's not even like a bunch of them? What if it's just like one, but it's so long it's just like, you know, like kind of goes up and down and up and down. Oh yeah, they're just immigrating and they're just immigrating to the US. It's fine. On their way to work, yeah. They work at Lady Liberty.
The end is near.
Is it? Ooh, why is it squishy?
I hear a noise at the door.
Excuse me.
Immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Oh, did Mr. Steam Monster Man come after me? Did he find me back at my home?
It shall not find me.
Or will it? I think it already did find you, sir. I think you're doomed. What if it's just like a neighbor? You know, he just got out of the shower and he's like, bro, don't do it. It's okay, sir. Sir, calm down. Maybe he wants to be our friend.
The window!
I can't look. Oh, there we go. The window? Oh, we're just running. Oh, crunchy. The end. Okay, well, wow. We died. Not how we planned to die, but we died. Because Sea Monster Man scared us out of a window. Yeah, all jokes aside, that was good. That was a good one.